Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Today we're digging into something we all wrestle with at some point, motivation and discipline. You know that feeling when you're fired up to start something new, like hitting the gym, picking up a new skill, or chasing a big dream. That motivation kicking in, giving you that burst of energy to take those first steps. But what happens when that spark fades, when the excitement wears off, and you're left wondering how to keep going? That's where discipline steps in. Let's unpack this together and figure out how these two forces can work hand in hand to help us not just start strong, but actually stick with it for the long haul. So, let's talk about motivation first. It's that inner fire, right? That rush you feel when you decide to take on something big. Maybe you're imagining yourself crushing at work, getting in shape, or finally starting that side hustle. Motivation is like the fuel that gets the engine roaring. It pushes you to act, to dive into challenges, and to work hard when you're just getting going. It's powerful stuff. When you're motivated, everything feels possible. You're full of hope, energy, and that "I've got this" vibe. Think about it. When you decide to lose some weight, those first few days are electric. You're hitting the gym, eating clean, and picturing a healthier, fitter you. That's motivation doing its job, making you feel like you can conquer anything. It's the same when you start a new project or learn something like a language. Everything's fresh, exciting, and full of promise. Motivation is that initial push that gets you out of your comfort zone and into action. But here's the catch. Motivation isn't built to last forever. It's awesome for kicking things off, but it's tied to how you feel. And feelings? They change. One day you're buzzing with enthusiasm, and the next you're tired, stressed, or just not seeing results fast enough. That's when motivation starts to flicker. It's like a fire that burns bright but can die out if you don't keep feeding it. And when it fades, you're left asking, okay, now what? How do I keep going when I don't feel like it anymore? That's where discipline comes into play. Discipline isn't as glamorous as motivation. It doesn't come with that big emotional high. But it's the real MVP when it comes to sticking with your goals. Discipline is about showing up, doing the work, even when you're not in the mood. It's that quiet commitment to yourself, the decision to keep moving forward no matter what. While motivation is the spark, discipline is the steady engine that keeps you chugging along. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine Michael Jordan, the basketball legend. He didn't make his high school team at first. Can you believe that? They said he wasn't good enough, but he didn't let that stop him. He hit the court every single day, practicing like his life depended on it. That wasn't just a burst of motivation. That was discipline. And it turned him into one of the greatest athletes of all time. Or take Thomas Edison. The guy tried thousands of times to get the light bulb right. Thousands. Every failure could have been an excuse to quit, but he kept at it. That's discipline in action. Pushing through setbacks, staying consistent, and refusing to give up. Those stories show us that while motivation might get you in the game, discipline is what keeps you playing until you win. So, how do these two fit together? Motivation gets you started. It's the excitement that pulls you into the race. But discipline is what carries you across the finish line. Think of it like this. Motivation is the match that lights the fire, and discipline is the wood that keeps it burning. You need both. Without motivation, you might never take that first step. But without discipline, you'll stall out the minute things get tough. In real life, this means leaning on motivation to launch your journey. Set those big goals, get pumped about them, and let that energy carry you forward. But then, you got to build habits that don't depend on how you feel. Break your goals into small, doable chunks and stick to them every day. Maybe it's scheduling your workouts like they're non-negotiable meetings or setting aside 30 minutes to work on your project, rain or shine. The trick is making it harder to skip than to just do it. Now, let's be real. Neither of these is easy to maintain all the time. Motivation can vanish when you hit a wall, or don't see quick wins. You start doubting yourself, or life gets in the way, and suddenly that fire's gone cold. And discipline? It's tough too. Doing the same thing day after day can feel monotonous, especially when results are slow. Plus, the world's full of distractions, stress, unexpected curveballs, or just the temptation to hit snooze instead of getting up. That's why patience is huge. We're so used to instant gratification these days. Likes on a post, same-day delivery, but real success takes time. If you're learning a language and can't chat fluently after a month, it's easy to feel like you're failing. Or if you're building a business and it's not profitable right away, you might want to throw in the towel. But here's the truth. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Discipline keeps you in it for the long game, and motivation can pop back in to give you a boost when you need it. So, how do you make this work in your own life? Start with a clear plan. Break your big goal into bite-sized pieces so you're not overwhelmed. Set specific targets like I'll study for 20 minutes a day instead of I'll get good at this eventually. That clarity keeps you motivated because you can see progress, and it builds discipline because it's manageable. Next, lean into habits. If you want to exercise, pick a time and stick to it until it's second nature. Habits take the guesswork out of discipline. They turn "should I do this" into "this is just what I do." And when motivation dips, remind yourself why you started. Maybe it's for your family, your health, or a dream you've had forever. Whatever it is, keep it front and center. Here's another tip. Don't expect perfection. You're going to mess up sometimes, skip a day, lose your drive, and that's okay. The key is to get back at it. One off day doesn't ruin everything, but letting it stretch into a week might. And celebrate the small wins. Finished a tough task? Treat yourself to something simple, a coffee, a break, whatever feels good. It keeps the momentum going. The bottom line is this. Motivation and discipline aren't solo acts. They're a team. Motivation lights you up to take that first leap, and discipline keeps you grounded when the hype fades. Together, they're unstoppable. Success isn't about one big, flashy moment. It's about showing up day after day, even when it's hard. That's how you build something lasting. So, next time you're feeling stuck, ask yourself, what's one small thing I could do right now to move forward? Then do it. That's discipline in action, and it'll carry you further than you think. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hope this got you thinking. What's something you're working on that needs both motivation and discipline? Drop in the comments or send me a message. I'd love to hear about it. Catch you next time, and keep pushing forward.